what would you tell that person who's right now, the person who's watching this is most likely a solo entrepreneur. He works for himself, maybe has a couple of VAs or one employee, but he does it for himself. He earns around six figures, so anywhere from like six to $20,000 a month, but he wants to scale to the multi six and seven figure level. Okay. He's hired a bunch of coaches, mostly in the strategy side, business coaches, funnels, ads, email marketing, conversions, social media, trying to build their content machine, like all these strategies. They've tried it, but the results are inconsistent. They're either up or down, or they're stuck. No matter how hard they work those 10-hour days, they're still stuck, inconsistent, or if the results do come, it's temporary. So that's the person that's kind of watching this video. And they're on the fence right now. They're watching this video, thousands of people watching this video thinking, okay, how do I know that law of attraction or mindset is the thing and not another strategy? Like, what would you say to that person? Because you had strategy, then you had the mindset of us working together for several months. What would you tell that person?
I would, of course, I haven't forgotten a thing. I've most definitely been able to implement a lot. I've been breaking barriers. A lot has happened. I actually set, changed my goal from last year to, I have it right here on my monitor, the gold card,
Yeah.
right? This is thanks to you, to your knowledge, right? And I've updated it, so now I'm more focused, more stable, and in a better headspace of what to do. You've most definitely set the ground field of, hey, this needs to happen, and where we need to go to. So yeah, much appreciated, man, for that.
Yeah, yeah, bro. We haven't spoken months. I remember when we were working, we were doing one-on-one calls twice a week, and we were doing some strategy with like Instagram, like some of the things I learned from Wes Watson. But after that, actually, you were working with Wes Watson, so we talked about that briefly. But what I shared with you is that we were both in the same Wes Watson course, but that it was not about the strategy; it was about the subconscious mind behind. And I took you. You were actually one of the first people that I took through the Quantum Leap program, the one that we scale now. We have now 25 people that have joined that program, all in group sessions. So now it's a way more expensive program now, brother. So you're one of the first people that I took to that program, refining that. I remember like building it out with you and like teaching it to you and like asking you questions, and building that. So to shit, now we've made hundreds of $1,000s, closing on 500,000 the last couple of months now and scaling it to multi seven figures this year. So things have really quantum leaped to applying the same principles. So, brother, I wanted to go ahead and talk to you about some of the things that you have learned, like in this program. Like, what would you say are some of the things that you still apply to this day, months later after us working together, that have really made a big difference for you? You know?
Man, DeAndre, there are so much, man. This knowledge that you have provided to me is so valuable for each and every single individual person that is trying to expand their mind, that is trying to break barriers, and that is stuck in certain areas of their life where they are uncertain what to do or how to actually go through life. So your teachings have basically things that I probably already knew in my subconscious, but they weren't right in front of me. So it brought that in front of me in order for me to see the path more clear, right? So that most definitely it has brought in front. So for people that are lost or are looking for guidance and are trying to figure out, hey, what is this back and forth between the intellectual mind and the subconscious mind? This is most definitely a course to go and follow and teach, not teach and get the lessons from DeAndre. But things that I've learned and I still implement on a daily basis is the personal development, growing on a consistent basis every day, right?
Doing your
Working towards
meditations.
meditations, not that much. However, there are visualizations that I have during the day and watching my breath, the Ujjayi breath,
Yeah.
right? Breathing into your stomach, your diaphragm, and then just focusing on being emotionally and conscious about what I really want and how I want to go and reach it. So making, and I talk about this a lot. So this is something that I also got from you is, and that I still implement on this day on a daily basis is working on yourself on a consistent basis, right? Just making your visions into a mission, making it into a reality, right? Manifesting. manifesting everything that you really wish to go and desire. So those are some of the teachings that and laying out the plan of action that helped a lot as well with your material that you delivered, right? Just going for like, hey, what is it what you want? Put it down on paper and go and try to make it into a reality and do that on a consistent basis. And since we had that, and also I read the book from Bob Proctor, right? But also with the goal card, which I have in front of one in my wallet and one right in front of my monitor so that I can see it
Yeah.
subconsciously there, right? There you go. Hey, you got your
Yeah.
own now, Brandon.
Yeah.
You should send me one, man.
Yeah. We'll get that to
I'll have
you.
one somewhere else as well
Yeah.
because what I've noticed everywhere where I have things subconsciously, the affirmations and all this guy, it registers in your subconscious mind. I mean, you start to hopefully, if you take action, because that's really the nut and the bolts of everything, is to take action on a consistent basis and make your dreams into a reality and know that everything that happens is just a barrier for you to break again so that you can get to your next level. So that that fundamental teaching that you brought with me, that was my missing piece to the puzzle. Just breaking barriers and knowing that, hey, things will come on your path, but they're there for a reason. You need to be conscious of what is happening at that exact moment and try to learn from that lesson. That
Yeah.
was one of the most valuable informations that I got from your teachings.
Yeah, I love that. So we're gonna dive deeper into that. So we gotta introduce you. What's up, Dino? What's up, brother? And let me give you guys a quick little update. So Dino was one of the first clients that I worked with, like back when I was creating Quantum Leap program. He was here before Mr. Law of Attraction, so he's seen what's the Quantum Leap happen with the Mr. Law of Attraction channel. So it's good to have Dino here. So Dino, tell us where you tell people where you're from, what do you do, and what you've applied this material towards.
All right, so my name is Dino Kramer. I'm from South America, Suriname. I've climbed the corporate ladder. I was working as an information technology specialist at the Department of State. I stopped 2 years ago because I just felt as if everything was not in balance, nothing was in equilibrium. And I think that the reason for that is because my conscious and my subconscious mind were not in sync with who I needed to be and who I needed to become. Very important. A lot of people are going blindly, goalless, and soulless through life
Mm,
and not listening to their subconscious mind of who they really are and who they need to be and what their vision and mission here on earth is.
mm,
Now, so I've done 20 years about for the Department of State, and like I said, at a certain point I felt I wasn't in sync. So I quit and I look deep, look deep inside to figure out myself and who I needed to be and what I needed to go and find out here on this earth because I felt I wasn't aligned. So I went on the personal development route. I didn't even know it was called that, right? I went first working on myself. I used to be overweight, about 96 kilos. I lost about 20 kilos, right? And I got a certification in nutrition and I started working online. And then back then I was still working at the Department of State. From there, I said, okay, well, I know how to make money online. Let's see what other capabilities are available. So I came on Wes Watson's path. Shout out to Wes Watson,
yeah.
who also showed me another blueprint of marketing. Before that, I had done other Brandon Carter is also one of the people that I got coaching from, how to brand marketing and sales. And but something was still missing, right?
Yeah.
Something was still missing on the personal development, right? There's the health, the wealth, the happiness. Bob Proctor talks about this as well. So I
Hmm.
had the health aspect I had in order, right? The personal branding was another thing that I got from Wes Watson. And then there was, okay, but still something is missing, right? What is this missing piece that which the puzzle doesn't fit, right? That's where I came on bad with you, where you really showed me like, hey, wait a minute. It's a total different mindset that you need to have in order for you to continuously make progress and that it's part of the journey, right?
Yeah.
So I did the Department of State. And then I started working online, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing, since we spoke, I was doing only nutrition, right? I started also promoting personal branding. And then after that, now I'm doing day trading. So I teach people with their health, their wealth, their happiness. So health is macro counting, nutrition. Wealth is day trading, right? Doesn't matter. And with my own indicators, and happiness is having the mindset, the healthy mindset to persevere and know that everything, these are your teachings and Bob Proctor's, that hey, everything that's happening or what's coming on your path is another barrier for you to break open, right? And learn from that to be conscious, and that you can go and manifest everything you want if you put your emotions and your actions to it. And of course, the positive mindset of persevering.
Yeah. One of the biggest things I'm hearing from you consistently is this idea of clarity. Having clarity, knowing where you're going, because most people are not. So I want to ask you a question. Shout out to Wes, by the way. I've made thousands of
Uh,
dollars with Wes. He changed my life. I was even able to get to Dubai because of Wes Watson and the cash flow that I was making with him. But one thing I did notice for my own personal is that Wes Watson teaches an outside strategy, which does work. But if you're not the right person to implement it, it still will not work. So you in essence, you hired a strategy person, such as myself. We hired a strategy mindset a little bit, but mostly on the strategy side, on the business side, right? What to post, stories, and all these kind of things. And you were doing it, but sometimes you didn't get results. And then I taught you the mindset part. What would you say is the biggest difference between people who have the strategy, they have the funnels, the strategy, they know to post, they're running the ads, the funnels, all this stuff, and then the people that are still stuck, even though they have all the strategies and stuff? What would you say to those people?
uh, actually, so the big thing is, as they say, it's 1% or 9 or 10% strategy, and 8%, or wait, it's 1% strategy and 9% the mindset, the willing to persevere, the discipline. So yeah, you have the strategy, but having the mindset to look inwards and know that things will come on your path, and you just need to learn from it and put your emotions in it, right? And really feel for it. That's what I learned from you. That's
Yeah.
really what I learned from you compared to how the strategy, what we got formerly from other courses and other trainers, other
So,
mentors and coaches.
how would you differentiate somebody who needs to look at better strategy and somebody who needs to look at looking at their mindset and looking within? What would you tell that person who's right now? The person who's watching this is most likely a solo entrepreneur. He works for himself, maybe has a couple of VAs or one employee, but he does it for himself. He earns around six figures, so anywhere from like six to $20,000 a month. But he wants to scale to the multi six and seven figure level. Okay, he's hired a bunch of coaches, mostly in the strategy side, business coaches, funnels, ads, email marketing, conversions, social media, trying to build their content machine, like all these strategies. They've tried it, but the results are inconsistent. They're either up or down, or they're stuck. No matter how hard they work those 10-hour days, they're still stuck, inconsistent, or if the results do come, it's temporary. So that's the person that's kind of watching this video. And they're on the fence right now. They're watching this video, thousands of people watching this video thinking, okay, how do I know that law of attraction or mindset is the thing and not another strategy? Like what would you say to that person? Because you had strategy, then you had the mindset of us working together for several months. What would you tell that person?
I would tell that person, give it a try. Give it a try, because our not even give it a try, just break barriers. Go with an open mindset, get the teaching from DeAndre, right? And see how your life will change. That is, if you already come from a point of view that, hey, what is this mumbo jumbo mindset, subconscious thing that we are talking about? Because we are basically we're vibrating on different frequencies right now. We know what we are talking about, but some other people or individuals will look at us like, what are these people talking about? And that's exactly it. The mindset is something that it's another, like, it's like a shade has been removed from your eye, right? It's another level in life where you can see clearly that, hey, this was something that you needed, and it's the missing puzzle, right? It's the missing piece to your puzzle, that no matter if you make, if you work harder, right? It's sometimes just being connected with everything being in sync, which is the universe, the laws of the universe, right? The laws of attraction. So for the people that For the people that it seems as if this is mumbo jumbo, we all have our intuition, right? And most of us are unable to be in contact with it, or we have no idea how this all works. When you're able to put everything together, which your teachings have brought clear to me, right? That's when you start to understand on a broader scale that, hey, this is part of what our existence is and how we need to take action for our business or for our relationships to start and grow our health, our wealth, our happiness, right? It can put you in a whole nother mindset.
I love it, brother. I love it. So, what would you say is like the final step if somebody's on the fence? They're thinking, okay, I've been seeing Mr. Law of Attraction for some time. I see some other testimonials, and I don't know if I want to spend $8,000, $10,000 for mindset when I could just read a book, when I can just, go watch some more YouTube videos, and I'm kind of on the fence. What would you tell that person?
So read the books, read everything, right? But if you find yourself at a certain point lost, right? Because something that we all get from time to time is information overload. And you have two kinds of people. You have the people that try to figure out stuff by themselves, and you have people that go straight to the source and they get the teaching, right? Those people win time. So if you want to win time, hire a professional, right? Get your answers right away so that you can make how much amount of money you want to make in a quick time frame, because time is valuable. Time is valuable. So the people that are hesitant about all of this, it's yeah, you can read all the books, but know that you're wasting time. Go to someone
Yeah.
that has the knowledge that can give you a clear path, that will work with you as a mentor, as a coach, will hold your hands, right? For you to grow to where you need to be. It's called climbing the ladder. It's like
Yeah.
holding each other's hand, and that's what we need in life. We need to figure out which people are there to help us grow and which are not. And the ones that will help you grow, even if you need to pay them because they need to get paid. And while they're getting paid, you get paid as well because you grow.
Yeah.
That's just how it
It's
works.
it's funny. What people buy is they're exactly what you said. They're buying their time. Like, guys, think about this. Even though if you're on the fence of working with me, I learned this from Bob Proctor. If you guys know my story, like Bob Proctor wanted $33,000 to become a consultant, which I didn't have. So I put $5,000 on my grandpa's credit card, and I said I jumped into the program thinking into results. And 45 days later, I was making 100 grand a month. I hired a mentor. I didn't figure this out. I've read this before back when a couple years ago, 10 years ago, and I'm reading it again. But like I hired Bob and I studied it and I studied him under him for 2 years. I didn't try to create my own programs or nothing for 2 years. I studied him and then I applied it, and that's what happened to me. Now Bob has since passed and I've accumulated, 5 years worth of knowledge. So that's what I did. So you might think of me like, oh, why should I hire a coach? I hired a coach. I spent at least $150,000 working with Bob Proctor's inner circle, whether it was like buying licenses for clients, whether it was hopping in his inner circle calls, hopping on calls with him, or whatever the program was. I had spent this money with him, so I did the same. So Dino, it's been
Wait,
months, man.
I got something to add to that.
Yeah,
So you mentioned something very important about not having money. And I think a lot of individuals can relate to this, that most of the times you won't have the money. Most of the times you won't have money for anything. Everybody is talking about expendable money and stuff, right? But most of the times you won't have it. But if you can see the value, and if your subconscious mind, right, your intuition is telling you that, hey, I can relate to what these guys are talking about, what these men are talking about, you will find a way to get the money. If you can
yeah,
find a way to buy the newest iPhone, screw the iPhone for 1 year, right? No marketing for Apple at this time. But invest in yourself, because this will be a more valuable asset than the smartphone will ever be. So the money will appear. That was also a valuable lesson that I learned from you.
yeah. I learned that from Bob
It's
directly, and that's
also
actually
valuable.
that's a
Yeah,
massive key that we've never talked about in the other testimonials. Some people that are
yeah,
watching this, even up to this point, that because some people are clicked off, they're not customers. The guys that are watching this right now are locked in. They're on the fence right now. They don't.
yeah.
Some of you don't have the money. I didn't have the money. You make a decision, then the money comes. Once you make a decision, then the money will show up. You may not, you may like, oh my God, I don't have 8,000 or 5,000 for half payment or payment plan or this or that. Then find it. If not, put it on a credit card. I started on a credit card. Like once you invest into yourself, all the resource, all the money will come into play. And that's how it works. If you're waiting for the outside world to change, it won't change. Or if you knew it, you would have done it already. So that's what I
This is
realized.
all
If
that.
I knew it, I would have done it. So clearly, I didn't know how to do it. How do you know if you know this information? Check your bank account, check your results. I always tell that to my clients. So Dino, what would you say to this day? It was months ago. I think probably close to 7 months ago that we were working together one on one. To this day, what do you still apply to your life, even though we're not one on one? We're not working together now at this moment. But like, what do you still apply to your life now that has impacted you since that time that we did work a couple months ago? What practices do you still practice? What are you still doing to this day that you still apply to your life, even though we worked together months ago?
DeAndre, it's so much, man. There's so much. In the beginning, I've done a lot of the meditation, right?
Yeah,
I got a
face mask.
blindfold, right? Face mask,
Yeah, yeah.
headsets. I actually also shared those ones, and I like to be upside down sometimes
Yeah,
for
yeah, I
the
see that. You tagged me. I'm like, I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, you be upside
yeah,
down.
the inversion boot for your spine to align your spine again. So I like to be upside down just for my herniated disc, and that has helped calm me down as well. And I've done that a lot, and I've noticed that when I started doing that also with all the other add-on material of you, that right, I started to think about more my goals and my visions and really what I needed to go and do. So that was something I used to do a lot. I've been thinking about doing that a lot more, but the gold card, that's one that I always have on hand. It's just also be always being on the mindset of, hey, I need to break barriers. If I don't have the money, doesn't matter. If I need that, in my subconscious mind being more in sync. So that's another thing that I really learned from you and the Bob Proctor book is if your subconscious mind tells you that you need to do this and sometimes it feels uncomfortable, break that barrier.
Yeah,
Breaking that barrier, even that part, break barriers. Yeah, you
yeah,
even have a
terror
module.
barrier. Yeah,
Yeah, right. You have a module in your course that's named Breaking Barriers, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, terror
Right?
barrier. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's one where every time I feel a little bit on edge and uncomfortable. I'm like, hey, no, wait a minute. I learned this from DeAndre. I need to break this barrier because this is going to change my paradigm. This is going to create my new self, the person that I actually envision, but I just don't know it yet, right? So most definitely that. So every time I feel a little bit on the edge, uncomfortable and stuff, I'm like, you know what? I need to do this. I need to do this because this is just how I update my firmware, my bias, my software, my paradigm, my programming, right? So putting that logic, and that's especially it, the logic, because some people they don't know the logic that there's a whole programming script. We grow up without having this knowledge, and it's so valuable knowledge to know and to have, right? Because then you can connect the whole web of, hey, wait a minute, this is supposed to happen. This is so how it's supposed to be. You don't have the answers yet. So you're going blindly and goalless and soulless through life. While when you have this knowledge, you become enlightened. And that's another thing that I got from your teaching is just becoming more enlightened, looking more for knowledge, and updating my firmware, my paradigm, my programming, my software, my add-ons, right? Just
Mm.
becoming the best version of myself. Yeah.
I love it, brother. So, guys, if you're watching up to this point, you're on the fence right now. What you can do is you can look at the link in the description below, and you can book a call with us. What it's going to do is going to take you to a nice little video where it's going to explain what exactly that I do in more depth. You probably already know at this point. It'll talk about the sales call. You have the opportunity to book a call with myself and my team. And who is this for? This is for solopreneurs. All right, people that have less than 5 employees, typically that work for themselves, they're making anywhere from five to $15,000 a month, and they want to scale to the multi six and seven figure level. They're tired of working on the outside world. They're overworked. You're not afraid of hard work. You're working already 8 hour days, 10 hour days. You've hired coaches for strategy, funnels, ads, marketing, social media strategies, and it's not working for you. You've come to realize that there might be something deeper. that's keeping you at the stuck income level. That's keeping you stuck at inconsistent levels. And that if you want to scale to the seven-figure level and quantum leap, you're gonna have to tap into some spiritual laws. Some of those laws known as law of attraction, some of the laws I've learned from my mentor Bob Proctor. And you want a step-by-step system. You don't want to do it by yourself. You want to do it as fast as possible so you can save money, earn more money, and just do it at the best time. So if that sounds like you, check the link in the description below, book a call with me, or send me a message on Instagram. Dino, where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram or Facebook at D Kramer E. That's DCRAMERE.
Let's do it, brother. All right, go check the links in the description. Hit out Dino, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.